Hey guys, well, today's video is going to show me, hopefully, installing a quad rail and some picatinny rails and a primary arms micro red dot onto my Kel-tec Sub 2000. Of course, one of the main features of this gun is the way it can fold into this compact package. Well, to me, it's very hard to get a good sight picture looking through this peep sight here and your front sight. There it is. You have to, get a good cheek weld on it, but still, it's just really uncomfortable for me to try to get a good sight picture to shoot this particular gun. So I thought what I would do was remove this and install this quad rail where I could have a red dot. The only problem with that is you have to remove this sight. And there's several videos on YouTube where people get a Dremel tool and they cut this plastic away, and then there's a metal band inside here that's glued to the barrel with some type of Loctite or something under there. And you have to heat that up to get all this off so you can get the quad rail over the barrel. Now this particular handguard, the stock one, comes off with these screws and you just take it off. But the quad rail is a one-piece deal, so it's got to go over the barrel. So what I'm going to attempt to do in this video is to take my new handy dandy heat gun here and hopefully heat this up enough where I can get this off. So I'm gonna get this in a vise and see what I can do with it. There it is. It took about, let me not touch the barrel, about 6 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes, and it came off in one piece without me having to Dremel that off, so I'm very happy with that. So now I got to clean off this residue, which comes off very easily, as you see. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Now on to the next step. Okay, now that my barrel has cooled off, I'm going to remove these phillips screws from the original handguard. There are 2, 4, 6 on each side. And that's what it looks like. I guess technically there are only 6 screws because these don't have to be removed. Very good. So now there is my barrel. And what I have to do now is follow my directions and partially assemble this quad rail. Okay, the next step is you have to install your picatinny rails onto your handguard here. The most difficult part of this I can see is you're going to have to hold these little nuts on the inside of this handguard while you try to put the screw in it. And hopefully I can get this started. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can get it on the other side. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, the problem is this side is shorter than this side, so I'm going to have to try to find something to hold that nut still. Okay. Let me figure this out and I'll come back. Okay guys, the only way I can see to get this one, it would be the third from the end, because I can technically stick my middle finger all the way up to that hole, but I can't hold it flat, so I can't start my screw. So I'm using this scale here to hold the nut flat up against the inside of the handguard. And there I go. So you shouldn't have any trouble with the, like I say, the first two. This one is the one you're gonna have trouble with. And I have a rail on the top and the bottom, and this one here won't be any problem. So you take the nut, well, I said it wouldn't be a problem. There we go. Let's start this. Whoop. Okay, now that I've got the picatinny rails on the handguard, done with that for now. Now the next step is to put the coupling over the barrel. And you want it for this. This is the end that goes on top, so you can read this number here. So stick that on the barrel and it goes all the way up to the lock, over the lock nut, like that. Okay, what it says to do is to tighten these two, just snug them down, and then we're going to tighten this one up. This is what holds, this screw is what actually holds it into place. So what you have to do is you have to have a slotted screwdriver to hold that into place. Try to keep this in frame. Alright. It said to tighten it until you start, till it starts where it's barely moving, right there, and then go ahead and tighten it down to, I don't know, it says 6 pounds maximum. Do not over tighten. This does not hold anything on, so I have no idea. I don't have a torque wrench, so there we go. This way you can see the red line logo. Says that I got it on right. So that's what that part should look like. Now the next step is to assemble the rest of the handguard. So let me get all that together. Now I'm going to place this end cap onto the handguard, line up the hole, and these are a T15 Torx. Just one on each side. So this is the front end. So now what's going to happen, let me raise this up a little bit. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to place this over the barrel all the way down till it makes contact, and as you can see there are threaded holes here that line up with this handguard. So now what I'm going to do is just put screws in all these holes. Just going to snug them up until I get them all in. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to tighten everything down like it ought to be, and I won't take up time doing that. Okay guys, here it is, the fully assembled product. I've gone back and I've retightened all these screws, made sure they're good and tight. I went ahead and put my little, I have a 1-inch riser that came with my primary arms micro dot. As you can see, it raises it up far enough. I was having a problem with the sight picture of this peep sight, so this raised it up 1 inch, so that should be good. Not sure what I'm going to do about a sight. I really don't like those Red Lion sights that you get to take the place of the original Kel-tec sight. Just don't know what I'm going to do about that yet, but may not even put one on there. But I had this handle that I used to have on my AR just to see how it would feel, and it feels pretty good actually. I may leave it on there. But the cool thing about this is, as you can see, there's no way to fold this with your red dot on. So what this does is you loosen this knurled nut and you index it, and now your gun will fold. It's such a positive stop on your indexing here. It should go back to 0 every time, but it feels good and sturdy. It did add a little bit of weight, but it's not in a bad way. It feels really balanced now, so I can't wait to get out and try it out. But hopefully this gun will be a lot more fun to shoot, since the sight picture will be much improved without having to practically lay your face, you know, all the way down trying to look through this peep sight. It just wasn't comfortable to me at all, and hopefully this is going to make it a lot better. Thanks for watching, guys.